Watching projects from Marvel have been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. Like literally, one moment you're at the peak and the other you're at the bottom. Or more like a stock market thing, where no one knows if it's gonna go upwards or crash unforgivingly. You know what? I blame Loki for this. Damn, Loki has definitely muddled with our brain and spoiled us into thinking, into giving us a false sense of hope that we could finally have some redemption for Marvel, and superhero movies would bring back the old excitement of anticipation that fans feel when new projects are announced. Well, that didn't quite happen, and we are back to the bottom now. Echo is the most recent drop from Marvel. It is the 10th television series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also a spin-off of the series Hawkeye, which released way back in 2021. And honestly, I enjoyed Hawkeye more than Echo. There, I said it. I went in thinking Echo is going to be an origin story. It didn't have much expectations. Obviously, with Marvel's track record, you gotta be careful. It was indeed an origin story to its credit, but somewhere it just felt incomplete, like something is missing. For starters, I don't even fully know by the end of this season what Maya's powers are. I mean, can she heal like her mother? Or is her power super strength, but she can also give powers to others? Or is it only because the powers remain within her family or like ancestry, her lineage? She could only give powers to her mom and her cousin, but she wouldn't be able to do that for someone outside the family tree. Like, she cannot give that power to Fisk. You know what I mean? I ended the season with more questions than answers. I mean, an origin story should at least explain what she's capable of, at least for viewers who haven't read the comics. And even reading the comics aren't always enough, with Marvel always spicing things up, changing things up from the comics. But I guess Marvel's saving all of that explaining for something quote unquote bigger, like they've always done, to keep the viewers guessing and hyped up for what's next to come, rather than letting them enjoy the beauty of what's now. The basic premise of the show starts by following Maya's character, some of the scenes we saw in Hawkeye, but from her POV, how she started, her relationship with her dad, relationship with Fisk, her return to her hometown where she must come to terms with her past, reconnect with her Native American roots, and embrace her family and community. Yeah, that's about everything. That's the entire season right there. Good thing they called it a miniseries. Just how blandly I explained it, sadly the show as well cares too little to put an effort in the execution. There are few things that are very interesting and appealing in concept, but that's just limited to that, theory and imagination, but falters in implementation. I did like a couple of things. The concept of Maya returning to her home and connecting with her Native American roots is a really enticing premise. This representation was a fresh addition and I was liking it. However, the direction it took in the show is a hit and miss for me. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just does not. I couldn't help but draw parallels to the Killers of the Flower Moon that I recently watched, and even a 3-hour long movie without much action was able to keep me engaged throughout. And that speaks volumes of how execution and character performance might be enough for me to buy what's happening. This is the part where I felt Echo could have done with a little more effort and conviction. The other thing that I loved, absolutely loved, is the father-daughter relationship between Maya and William. This small part is there only in the first episode, but enough to captivate you in showing the beautiful relationship they shared with each other within a short span of time. What completely missed the mark for me is the relationship between Bonnie and Maya's character. They set it up at the very beginning when Maya tells Bonnie that they're sisters, not cousins, seemingly letting us know that the show wants us to feel the relationship between them. But that is never explored further in the show, and that just feels forced, that the show wants us to feel this, but we're not feeling that they're sisters. I just couldn't feel the warmth I needed to when two sisters were sharing screen. They were meeting after a very, very long time. I mean, Mobius and Loki had a way better chemistry and they weren't even brothers. Same with Maya's grandmother, Chula. It wasn't as bad as Bonnie, but again, a hit and a miss for me. I really loved her performance in episode 4 when she opens up with Maya, but other than that, just how Wikipedia says, she remains the estranged grandmother throughout the show. Wait a second, Bonnie is an estranged cousin too. Wow, looks like Maya's entire family is estranged. Did they even reconnect towards the end? I mean they did. There are more scenes that show Maya's biking skills than the final 10-second clip where Maya finally returns to the family lunch. Thank God, at least Biscuits is a well-meaning cousin who is the only character I genuinely enjoyed spending time with. Who's next? Matt Matt Murdock, was he even on the show? Yeah, he was. I must have forgotten. Or was he? Or it must have been his stunt double. Who even knows? So people hyped Daredevil's entry so much so, but sorry to disappoint, it's just 20 seconds of him in the first episode. That too was revealed in the trailer because I guess the showrunners wanted people to have something to be excited for. It is genuinely so sad because Daredevil was one of my favorite show Marvel has ever produced, but he's now just become a crowd puller for She-Hulk and Echo, playing cameos so that other shows could benefit from his fandom. I mean, this is what normal seems now, does it not? You know what? Like I said earlier, all blame goes to Loki. Loki is the only good TV show that's an anomaly among the rest of the lineup. We all are blaming other TV shows, but you know what? It's Loki that needs to be blamed. Just put Loki out and everything seems normal. Everything seems equal. Everything seems stable. How dare people make good TV shows like Loki? I mean, come on. Did we learn nothing from She-Hulk? Jokes aside, it really is sad to see Marvel where it is now. I mean, Avengers Endgame is the second highest grossing movie of all time. Like all time, superhero movie or not. Now it seems all hell's breaking loose for Marvel. If a show is good, the writers leave. If not, the actors are in trouble all the time. The supposed main villain of Phase 5 and Phase 6 isn't even sure if it's gonna remain the main villain. It's all chaotic. It's all mixed up right now. But you know what? I'm still hopeful. Just like the stock market, there will be time when the market will go up and there will be at least one movie I'm hoping in 2024 that would nail it. The only thing I'm betting for is Deadpool 3 like so many others. The only Marvel movie that I'm really genuinely excited for this year. Please Marvel, please don't f this up.